Good morning, students. I am Satish Reddy. I am father of Sanket, your classmate. He was asking me a couple of days back regarding some of these equipments as well as the apparatus that is being found in the chemical laboratories. So fortunately, I am into some of these chemical labs. I am an agriculture scientist by profession. So I thought maybe I'll give you a small demonstration of the simple apparatus that we regularly find in the case of chemical laboratories or any chemistry lab for that matter. So when just giving you a screenshot of as to how a chemistry lab would look like, we'll have different kinds of things. We'll have chemicals in different colored glass bottles, plastic bottles and everything. And we work with, the chemistry as such is working with substances. Their preparations, their reactions, and then how they actually act against each other when they try to react with each other. So this is the basics that you are starting out right now. So I just want to give you a glimpse of everything that we normally see in a chemical laboratory. So here is your Sanket, so to start with, we actually have different things in a chemistry laboratory. They are basically divided into 4 sections. One is the glassware. Second one is paraphernalia, which are used for the other purposes. We have chemicals and we have indicators and detergents. This is how the actual chemical laboratory is being divided into. But to start with, we have seen some of your textbook, and it says different kinds of flasks out here. So I want to show you how a flask looks like. This is a conical flask, which is basically like a triangle with a small top, which is this way, and you have a flat bottom. What we use this for is basically we have different kinds of solutions that we pour into this, and then put it under a burette or anything, and then we just start to swirl it and then mix it up. This is used for mixing solutions and then making solutions, so that you can clearly see a distinction between one and another. Okay. Second type of flask that you see is called as a flat bottom flask, which is a round bottom flask, but it's a flat at the bottom. What we call it as a volumetric flask, what you call. So here what we have is, it looks very round, but the base is flat. Okay. The base is really flat if you see this. Okay. This is what you call it as volumetric flask. In this you exactly know how much volume that you are adding. These are used for making solutions of a known concentrations. So this is why these are used. The solution that you see is a potassium dichromate in the laboratory, and they make it different colors, and then different things are used differently depending upon the chemicals that you are using. The third type of flask that you see is a round bottom flask. So it is basically the same way as your volumetric flask, but you have a round base. Why you have a round base is because when you heat up something, the heat gets evenly distributed. So we put it into a Soxhlet extraction or any other Bunsen burner. What you see here is a Bunsen burner. We put it on the top using a tripod stand and a gauge or a mesh, and then we burn it up and then make sure that the solutions are heated up properly. If you have a round surface, it heats up very quickly and it heats up evenly. That is what we want for chemical analysis to happen, so that nothing in the bottom is heated up and then charred out, and the top one is doesn't get the heat. So we want to heat it evenly. The different kinds of other things that we see are measuring cylinders, beakers, and a lot of things. So beaker is something like this. They are in different sizes, different volumes, and everything is listed out here. This one is a 250 ml beaker, which has gradations here: 50, 100, 150, 200, and 250 if you fill it up. So, and then you see a lip, like what you see for a regular mug that you see in a bathrooms. It has a small lip wherein it is easy for you to pour the substances into any test tubes or anything that you want to have it in. And then you have a measuring cylinder, which also has a lip, which actually tells you how much quantity that you want to take. If you see this, there are lots of gradations on this one. So that means all markings. If you want to take 100 ml, you want to take only 50 ml. So you go right there. You go to this place and then you just have the solutions right there. It gives you exactly 50 ml. And if you want to have 100 ml, this is where you have 100 ml. Okay. And then the solutions are made, and as pointed out, you have a lip and then you pour it out. Okay. The next one is basically heating up solutions could also be done in a test tube, which is basically with open one end is open, one end is closed, and you heat it up using, this is a stand that we put in. It could be used for putting the solutions into the substances, into the test tube, or you can use it after you wash it. This is the holder that we use for test tubes, wherein you put under a flame and then hold it. What we call it as a basically a test tube holder, what we call. Okay. Apart from that, we also have things where you draw solutions. One is called as a pipette. The other one is called as a burette. Pipette is basically a small glass tube which is known volume is written on the top, which is basically what you do it in two ways. You suck a liquid and then hold it on the top so that you have exactly the same quantity of 10 ml until it reaches to a particular point right here. Or you can do is put it into a thing called as a draw. What we call it as a pipette draw. So I'll show you how it works. Sanket, can you hold this for me, please? So what you do is we put this into this draw and then we just put it into a solution and then we twist this thing up and down so that whatever the volume that you want, it is the 10 ml pipette, and then you can see how much you want. Depending upon the quantity, you can just go up and down and then use the exact quantity of solution. This is called as a pipette drawer. Okay. Apart from this, you have other paraphernalia, what we call it as funnel, which is used for pouring something into the, or try to add something into the actual solutes or solvents so that you make a solution out of it. There are other things which are called as a spatula to take some substance and then put it into a certain beaker or a conical flask or a petri dish or anything. And then if you are working with liquids, then you have a dropper. You might have seen a dropper which is, you might be using it for your medicines, 5 ml or 10 ml. When you have a fever, the people also use this kind of a dropper for putting the solutions in. The other one is called as a glass stirrer. Once you have everything put into a conical flask, if you have a solution right here, you just stir it up so that they mix up properly and evenly. This is what is called as a glass stirrer. And the second one is what I said, what we missed is a burette. Burette and a retort stand or a burette stand, what we call. This is a stand wherein you have a burette where you fill this solution, fill a solution into a burette. I'll try to fill in water so that you can understand. Okay. Can you see the water moving up? So if you have a certain quantity of water, you see. Okay. If you put in and then you start opening up, point out here so that you can you see a liquid coming out? Can you see the liquid being poured into the glass? Can you see this? Okay. So whatever the quantity that you want, you can actually take up to from 0, you can go drop by drop, like what you have here. You can go drop by drop until you reach a point and then you can stop wherever you want. Whenever the reaction has happened and the color changed, we use indicators to locate which color and what, how the reaction has happened. So you stop there and then this is used for making of different solutions and then starting a reaction. This is called as a burette. This is a burette. What you see here is a burette. Okay. And this is a stand to hold it. What we call it as a burette stand. And similarly, you have it as a retort stand where you have a clamp and then you add this thing to hold on to that so that you can heat up the solution. So we have multiple clamps, different kinds of clamps for different flasks, different things. This is a burette stand. This is a kind of a retort stand, whatever the clamp that you want to put in. Okay. Apart from this, we have other things also which we call it as wash bottles to clean off all the things. And then we have petri dishes. You might have seen in CID programs and other things, people start to working with different kinds of microbes and all this. What we call it as, what we have here is all the petri dishes right there. We wash up and then put it in so that we use for different purposes. And then this is a small lecture to have an idea as to how a chemistry lab looks like. Okay. We will make a certain other video because it's crossing around 10 minutes. So I don't want to take in more of your time. And then hopefully it is understandable to you. If not, just give us a message and then we'll make a new one for you guys. Okay. Thanks a lot. And then Talk to your teachers if you don't understand anything, get more information from them, and then we'll be very much happy to assist you guys. Thank you.